Hey there, Nicole here. So I debated making this video because it's mid-year. Everyone's doing kind of their mid-year updates on their lineup, what's changed, what hasn't changed. And for me, on the planning side, for the most part, nothing has changed. I am still using my Hemlock and Oak daily as kind of my main planner. The only caveat is I have the daily duo, so it is a 2-book system. So although nothing has changed, it's technically, you know, we're in July, so that means a brand new book, which I really like, because even if nothing's changed, because there is the remaining 6 months and a brand new planner, it still feels as if, you know, it's a fresh start. So I think that part's fun. And so I realized that I think I do like having a 2-part system or a 2-book system for the year, because you can kind of change things up and make it a little fun even though your planning style hasn't changed. So with that being said, what I want to do today is a few things. I want to show you guys the little things that have changed, which are mostly aesthetic, as you're seeing here. I have, you know, some new accessories that I have added here, being, you know, this lovely pouch from Kolour Cafe and all her amazing patches that give just a little burst of personality. And then I have added a few of those to my current cover as well. So I'll kind of like show you guys a little bit of that. And I do want to flip through the last 2 months of the previous book of my daily. So that would be May and June. And then show you guys how I have set up for the new book, and then July. So a little bit of that. And then lastly, a fun announcement is that my husband and I, we are, I guess, officially launching our leather business. I know I talked about it in a few videos in terms of, you know, the different covers that he's made me and some of his customers, but it's all been pretty like ad hoc. We had been doing it through Instagram, and now we are going to officially launch a website to take orders. So all of that is in progress, but in the meantime, we are also doing a giveaway, which is live right now. Or at least at the time of filming. So we have that going on for the week while we're just kind of tweaking last minute things. And then part of the giveaway is going to be this lovely pen case, or we're gonna make a new one, but it's gonna look something like this. So anyway, I'll talk about that in more detail at the end. But those are kind of like the 3 things that I wanted to talk through today. So grab your drink of choice. Sit back, relax, and hope you enjoy this video. All right, so you already see that I have placed the new book into my cover. And so this is the old one. So let me move these things over so I can show you what's going on here. So this is still, by the way, I'm not gonna go into this in detail, but I have the Daily Duo hardcover as my journal, so nothing's changed there. The second book is also the same color, and I just have a different colored band that I've placed here. So this is gonna be still the journal. And then this is the book that I've completed. So essentially this is what it looks like when it's new. You can see it's pretty thin, and there's some room in this cover, but you can see how much this guy has chunked up. And ignore the bend of the binding. That was me. I'm not really gentle with my stuff, so I think at one point I was trying to stick this back in my cover, and I was a little too aggressive about it, and I bent the back. So ignore that, but honestly the binding holds up just fine. It did get pretty thick, as you can see here, because I add a good amount of stickers, because you know the paper is already thick itself. So you can see here I have stickers, I have a ton of sticky notes. So really fun to kind of thumb through because every page is pretty filled to the brim. So in terms of the planning, really nothing new in the last 2 months. So I'll just kind of flip through to show you, but you know, everything remains the same in terms of how I set up the pages, which is for the most part these Cat Collage Club digital printables, and I just again print it on sticker paper. And then the other thing is I'll note the weather, trash and recycle day. So those are like these stickers that you're seeing here in the corners. And then I just use a ton of sticky notes throughout for little reminders and notes. And then again for writing utensils, let's see. I use the Sharpie, what is this? Sharpie S Gel. I just love that it's rose gold, so it's nice because you can just buy these in packs, and then I have them laying in my pen pouch as well as all around the house. So I need to grab and go, I can. It's not a big deal. So I love using like not expensive pens for that. So this is the pen I use to write in, and then again in this I keep saying again because I go over this in every video, but just in case this is your first video, these are, you know, kind of the main stash here because I use the Zig Clean Color Dot markers to indicate work meetings. And then I also use the Zebra Click Art. And I just bought some new colors too, which I'm really excited about. Simple Paper Co. had restocked a bunch of these. You can use Nicole 10, by the way, if you are shopping there. I am an affiliate, but she has like the best writing utensils that she constantly restocks, and they're really cute. So I have like all the regular colors, but then I got some like, I think they were like animal, they're like named after animals, but I chose some of the lighter colors and then more of like the muted like pastel, as you can see here with like the light green and sage and pink and yellows. So love that. And then I use those because every day is like a new like heading, and the headings aren't consistent. So I'll just write like today, if I have a running list, don't forget, priority, blah, blah, blah. So I use those click art pens. I try to match them with one of these images here, right, to make it somewhat cohesive. And then you can see I kind of changed it up here because I was traveling this week. So I had like travel themed, what's it called? Travel themed pet tape that I wanted to use. So I did that. So you can see it's a little bit different, but I just wanted to change it up and thought it was fun. And then I go back to my typical spread. So yeah, that's how the setup is in terms of like the layout and the writing. And the little circles and squares that you're seeing here are also from Hemlock and Oak. They are ways for me to note like when I have events, appointments, or like when I leave the house. And then these little squares here are my little summaries of the day, because I am, again, still behind on my journaling. So I just use these as little reminders and highlights or lowlights to help me remember how that day went. So yeah, that is essentially what I have here. We're getting to the end of May now. Here's me practicing my cursive. I do not like my penmanship, and I hate my lowercase so much, so I just ended up defaulting to all caps so it is legible. So yes. Oh, and then I started running out of like these weather icons. So because of that, I had the weather washi strips here that I just kind of cut and placed at the bottom of each page, and then again use the these guys here to stamp the weather, because then that way you can actually account for multiple things, like if it was sunny but also pretty cloudy, or if it was sunny and then it rained, so you can account for multiple rather than just having a sticker for one, if that makes sense. So I kind of like that better, and also I can use more of it, and so I feel like I'm saving more money rather than getting a bunch of weather stickers, even though I love these. They're really adorable. I got these from PMD Stickers. She is in Australia, and I believe she just had a baby and her shop just opened up part-time, but I love, love, love her stickers. So I will probably restock those at some point, but not right now. I'm trying to save a little bit of money where I can. Yeah. And then I do not use the monthlies. I am not a monthly planner person. Every time I do monthly spread, it is useless. I forget to refer to it. I feel like I'm only updating the monthlies when like I'm backlogging, but it's like, for what purpose, right? Like this is supposed to be functional for you, and these dailies are extremely functional for me. I think I did this in a video already in terms of setting up the first week, but it wasn't filled out. So I think that was just like the initial setup of June, because now we're in June here, but you haven't seen it filled out. So I love when a page is filled out. It makes me happy. And then I started using these little like stickers. It's a good way to like highlight certain things through the day, because let's see, I had a haircut here, right? I just put hello weekend there, but then I'll say like, here's like different appointments, teaching a swim lesson here, and then Broncos vet appointment there. So good ways to like draw my eye to like immediate things where I'm like, oh, I gotta leave the house for XYZ. So that was nice. And then, you know, don't be afraid to cross things out. Sometimes I mess up, sometimes I cancel stuff, and obviously, you know, life happens, things move all the time. So I think that's why this works, because I'm not afraid to just like dive into it, right? So yeah, this has been working great. So essentially every time or every month that Cat Collage releases her stickers, I will print them out and place them all over this planner. So I do it strategically in certain places, just kind of depending on what I know is going to happen for the day. And let's see, this was the weekend. So yeah, I just try not to, if I know there's a lot of stuff going on, I'll only use a smaller sticker or something, but that's really it. It's nothing too deep. I like just placing, because if I am traveling that day, because here we had my in-laws' 30th anniversary, so we went out of town to their ranch for that celebration, and it was amazing and so romantic and emotional, because you know they've been through a lot. They've both battled cancer and come out on the other side, and we're just so grateful and just so proud of them and how resilient they are. So I loved being able to celebrate them. But anyway, what I was saying was that on days where I know that I'm out of town and there's not a lot of like to-dos per se, then I will have a checklist for like, oh, do this before I leave the house. And then this is just a breakdown of the schedule that I will backlog of what happened that day. And then what's easy is like if it's just an overnight, just a quick packing list, right? So I'll do like packing lists in here too. because I did that also for Japan, as you can see here. Like, whoa, look at that. So this is obviously like overnight versus international trip. So that was a lot, and I hated unpacking from that trip. I'm sure you guys can relate. And then we're getting to the end of June. And then I'll also like put if I delegate it tasks, because sometimes I'll ask my husband to do something and then, you know, squirrel, and I actually forget what I asked them to do. So I have to write it down. There's my ADD brain. We both have ADD, so like coming together to find a way to work through both of our ADD tendencies has been a challenge, but we're doing it. We're doing it. And the way that I conquer it is writing everything down. Because I know that a lot of people like say the planners are useful for the weekdays, and then on the weekends they just do stuff and they don't need like a dedicated page for the weekend. But for me, I work during the week. And then on the weekends is where I can actually do like most things related to like the house and life and catching up on like administrative things. So like my weekends, as you can see here, are typically really packed with stuff, or else I just will forget everything. I'll just remember that I'm supposed to be busy, but I don't remember what it was, because I will have a thought that I need to do something one of the days on the weekend, but you know, the day hasn't come yet, so it will go straight out of my head. So, you know, that's why like having dedicated weekend pages are great for me, and then having these sticky notes are really useful as well. But yeah, other than that, the layout hasn't changed. The way I do my daily planning hasn't changed. But this brings us to the end of the book, which is so cool. I think this is the first time that I have gone through an entire planner, which I'm really proud of. And this is my pen test that I did at the very beginning. So that's that. So yeah, the first book has only one page for mid-year notes, and that's the end of the book. And I think I touched on this on the very first video, but let's see, I don't use these either. So you have the calendar pages and then these like overviews, but in the second book, like it doesn't come with any of these. And I really wish that the second book would have the rest of like the quarterly pages, because I'm not gonna go back, and also I don't want to rip it out. So I know people have suggested it, but I just don't want to. But that brings us to the second half of the year, book 2. I'm not using this as like my pointer, like a presentation or something. I'm sorry if that was really annoying. I put it up. But this is book 2. This is July through December 2025. And I wanted to do something different because you can see in here, I've only placed one sticker. I feel like I like the idea of like stickering up the cover, but I think I like simplicity. Like you see with the patches, I did like just a few. With this one I did just a few. But yeah, I think I just like little touches. So the only update to this cover is that I felt it was a little bit plain. So obviously I had this from before. This clip is just to hold down pages. And then I added this, the Superior Labor handmade pouch here. So just glued this on. And then this one is already like a sticker. And this is a Color Cafe patch. And I love that it matches the two-tone really well. And then a little PSA is that she also sells this pouch. She has three sizes: Passport, TN, and this large one. And I know a lot of her followers, including her, typically use Passport and TN, so I don't see this size as much, but I was kind of trying it out with all of my planners, and obviously it's huge, so it can house all sizes, but I wasn't sure about the Hemlock and Oak because these are even larger than an A5. But I just wanted to show you in case you were looking for a case to travel with your Hemlock and Oak. It probably won't fit the daily because we all know that one's a monster of a book, but this is a duo, and I bet it fits the undated as well because they are super similar, if not the same. Actually, I think the undated is slightly thicker, but I just wanted to let you know that it fits the Hemlock and Oak. See? So this would be amazing to travel with, and it has like all these pockets here as well. I think I will have a little bit trouble with the case, or with my cover on there. I have tried it, by the way, and it does zip up, but you just kind of have to like wedge it in there, and I'll have to take this clip out, but it fits. So I think that's cool because there's just not a lot of things that just fit this planner in general, like let alone the cover. Like you can't find that. It doesn't fit like your Hobonichis and stuff like that. So yeah, just wanted to shout that out in case anyone was looking for something that was like travel friendly for these guys. But that takes us to this one. So I already talked about the pouches, and then I decided, instead of doing a sticker, to take out all of my stamps. So that's like what you're seeing here. Like my desk is madness right now. I still have like all my stamps here and stamps on the floor because I was trying to dig everything out to figure out what I wanted for my cover. But I used this Eric Small Things brown stamp pad. It's like a deep, like a chocolate brown. It's beautiful. And I took out all of my stamps, and I essentially took things out that were planner and journal related, coffee and cats and cute stuff. So that's what you're seeing here, right? And then obviously I had to have like one dumbbell because I love working out, but that's like the only other thing. Oh, and then at Little Craft Fest they sold Everyday Explorers Co. Sold this Texas set, and I thought that was perfect, so I have to like, you know, represent my state here. So I put these little stamps here, which I thought was really cute. But yeah, there's a ton of, I will list like everything, but I think I already tagged everyone in my Instagram post for like the different brands that I use. But at a glance, we already talked about Everyday Explorers Co. I have Black Milk Project, HEPA stamps, let's see what else, Ron Miu, and then some other ones, like miscellaneous and stuff I can't pronounce. But yeah, I had fun stamping this out. My desk is a mess because of it, but I think I like how it turned out, because I knew that this like beginning paper is like so thick, and this is always, because I tuck the front cover in my planner, that I'll see this like pretty much every time that I open my book. So I wanted something that was cute and made me smile. So that's what I did there. Still have a photo of us here, and then a few stickers here that I thought were a nice little addition. And then the front cover, this is like a blank page, and then this is a printable of all of the US holidays this year from Kubo and Lucy. So I just downloaded her A5 printable and on sticker paper again and placed it here. So a little holiday reference. And then we go into July, which is very exciting. And then these are Cat Collage Club's July release. So you can see it's like working out and like summer themed stuff, which is so cute. So that's really what I have. Everything's working just fine. Let's see, what do I have in the back? Oh, and then this little artwork. This was in the first book as well, and I didn't want to glue it because it wasn't cheap. So I wanted to like keep moving this piece of art around. So I thought this was adorable. This is from Nico Neko. This artist has a few prints in various sizes available, and this one like sort of looks like my cat. So yeah, have that there. So that is a setup of my new book. And then again, nothing's changed for the journal. So essentially this is my stack. And then that comes to the last part of this video, which is our leather business. So for those who are new, our company is called Foo Dog Leather, and we just launched the website. It's www.foodogleather.com. So we're still working through like getting the listings up and everything, but you can still go on the website right now and take a look at like our story, you know, the different types of covers that we will offer, and FAQ and stuff like that. So like almost everything is there, but for launch, at least phase 1, just because of our customer base, we are only launching offerings for Hemlock and Oak right now. Whoops, I got cut off. I was saying that companies are starting to release like sneak peeks and everything around their 2026 lineup, which is so fun and exciting. So I have an idea of a few planners that, aside from Hemlock and Oak, which is my baby, that I'm interested in. So just kind of based on like all the planners I have and what I will have, using those as templates to kind of expand our offerings. So our core is always going to be Hemlock and Oak, I think, just based on like what our customers have been asking for. But I definitely want to expand to like offer more options. So stay tuned for that. We were supposed to launch July 7th, but because of you know, issues on the back end, we decided to delay that because we want to make sure that you know, when you guys are shopping, like your experience is perfect and like the website's not weird and clunky. Like we want to make sure we get the experience right. So that part is delayed. But in the meantime, as an apology, we wanted to offer a giveaway. So we just posted the giveaway on Instagram. It is for, you know, it's the typical thing in terms of like liking the post and commenting on it. And so I think it was like the post, share it for an additional entry, and then comment, you know, where you're from and what cover you are interested, or what planner you're interested in having a cover for. And then one lucky winner at the end of the week will get a pen case made. It will look similar to this. This is Blake's, my husband's, pen case, and these are part of his like utensils for his leather workshop. So he has a Hemlock and Oak where he does the sketches in, and then this is his pen case that is attached to that. So I just wanted to show you. So he's had this for like over a year, and you can see like the wear is like really nice, and it has some of his brass pen and pencil in here as well. So that is the giveaway. We're not going to obviously give away this one. It's going to be a brand new one that we will make for you. So yeah, that's what's going on. Check us out. The Instagram handle is where you can find, or the Instagram is where you can find the details of the current giveaway. The Instagram handle is Foo Dog Leather, so Foo_dog_leather. So I will like have all the information linked, but this is one of the planners that he made for me, and I am using it for next year as well, I've decided. So whatever planner I select for Hemlock and Oak, it needs to fit this, because I don't want to not use it. I love like the tiger stripes. So he selected like where it had like a lot of variation for me, which I love. And then just know that like the leathers are going to be all unique, and they're all full grain, vegetable tanned Italian leather. So they're all going to be pretty soft, durable, relatively thick. Some leathers are a little bit different than others, but if you go on the website, you will be able to see you know, the descriptions of the different leathers and what you can expect of them. But you know, this is all like made to last. Like it's very different from what you'll see a lot on like Etsy and stuff, which is, they call it like genuine leather, but it's not. Like, the name is funny, right? Because it's not actually like genuine leather. It's the FAQ has like the difference of like what it is, but it's kind of like if you were to think about, you know, home renovations and you're picking between different wood, right? You have like hardwood, engineered, and I forgot the other one that was like not really wood, right, but it looks like wood, that type of thing. So yeah, there's a lot of differences and nuances that we've kind of learned as we were doing this, but I love the vendor that we use for the leathers. They have like just beautiful colors, they're consistent. So yeah, check us out and let me know what you think. Join the giveaway, win a pen case. But yeah, that's what I got for today. I just wanted to show you, you know, the last bits of my current book. You know, the initial setup of the second half of the year, and then our little announcement for our leather shop. So if you've made it this far, thank you so much for joining me with my rambles. I hope you have an amazing day. Happy planning. Bye.